YouTube, Dark Magician and Team Sorcerers here, and welcome back to What If Wednesday. And in this one, which I've thought about doing for a bit, was what if I returned to current format and Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments? Now, obviously this is something I have no interest in doing, because I just hate the way current format is right now. But what if I did decide to come back? What if I did, then, like I said, some sort of gentleman's agreement would have to be made for more casual games regarding what we use and don't use on each other, just to make things more enjoyable. But as for tournaments, well, it depends whether or not it's normal current format tournaments or the minor league or both. But regarding normal tournaments, I'd have to try and get up to speed with what's in the meta and what's not, and what's played at locals. I mean, that's all I would play really, because I have no interest in regionals and YCSs and all that bollocks. Winner boxes and OTS championships might interest me though, in this scenario. But yeah, once I've been brought up to speed, I have to modify my decks and side decks in a way that it would help me do well in these events, even if it was just for the tournament. Now, the first thing I do is try and make sure I have countermeasures for Ash Blossom. I've already explained how much I hate Ash Blossom. And what I would do is make room, well, depending on which deck I'm using, I would make room for the one called by the grave, of course, plus 3 copies of Prohibition. As I said some time ago that this would be a good alternative, since Call by the Grave went to 1, along with the fact that I've not exactly been a fan of Crossout Designator. I'm not saying I hate Crossout Designator, I just hate that if I wanted to stop Ash Blossom and whatever, it would require me to play an Ash Blossom as well. But yeah, that would be my way to specifically stop it. I mean, sure, it would take up a spell and trap zone, but it wouldn't be a huge issue. As long as I can do my searches or what have you, then it's not a huge issue. So I can just do my searches without being interrupted. Unless of course they have Drawn Cockbird. But then again, I could probably, if I had 2 copies of Prohibition, I'd probably use it on that as well, if I wanted to. Although its draw's kind of unpredictable. I know Ash Blossom would be in absolutely every single deck, whereas draw is kind of hit and miss. It's like an opponent either would have it, or they wouldn't have it, or it would just be more of a side option than anything else. I mean, sure, it's vulnerable to backrow removal. We've got Twin Twisters, Cosmic Cyclone, or or cards in certain archetypes that destroy a card, true, but then it's like, are you really willing to waste it on a prohibition that's stopping you from using Ash Blossom? It's probably not likely. I mean, if they're not bothered by the prohibition, then they could go after something else, but, if they do use it to get rid of the prohibition, then that's fine with me, because then it draws attention away from my other spells and traps. Of course, if they've got Harpy's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm, then yeah, that would be a problem and a setback. But again, I guess it's sort of hit and miss as well. It's like either people would be maining it, or it would just be more of a side option. So you just never know. That's something that's a bit hard to anticipate. But I guess you'd just have to. I guess I'd just have to assume that they would have it. I mean, you just never know with these things. And then, of course, in addition to this, I would also make a side deck that's as generalised as possible to specifically counter OTK decks and Walking the Gates. When it comes to dealing with Walking the Gates, I've got Kaijus and Dark Ruler No More. That takes care of it. That's what I usually use. Or, of course, Super Polymerization. But, minor league-wise, Super Poly is not an option because it's banned in that, which is understandable. So yeah, I'd have to settle with the other two. With OTK decks, I'd try and have Nibiru, Battle Fader and Swift Scarecrow on hand as well. But then there's the other issue where it's like, well, there's lots of decks nowadays that do both things, OTK and set up a board of negates. A mixture of the two is harder to deal with, so I'd have to figure out how to deal with something like that. I feel like I'd have to throw in the whole side deck, maybe, but even then there's no guarantee that I'd even draw them, and it might result in bricking. Of course, side decking is really awkward anyway, because when I was siding before, I knew what I wanted to have in there, but picking and choosing what to side out was always tricky. Yeah, it's something I'd really need to think about. Either that, or I'd do what I did before and have a side deck binder, which would have more than 15 cards, but what I would do is have a look around, see who's using what, if I can, and then put together a side deck based on what I've seen. But yeah, in any case, Prohibition will be my best friend, whether it's to stop Ash Blossom or something else. and then this would bring a, well, I guess someone would probably ask, well, what if the opponent doesn't have an Ash Blossom? I mean, the chances of facing a deck that doesn't run an Ash Blossom is very slim, and practically non-existent, unless I randomly come across something very casual, or something that doesn't even need it, like Endymion. But again, that's fine, because I can just either not use the Prohibition at all, or use it to declare something else, something which is going to be a huge threat. Like, if I did go against Endymion, I'd probably just declare Endymion itself. But then again, if I'm going second, it wouldn't be much use, because more than likely something will be put on the field that will stop me using spells. Whether it's Secret Village, Magician's Right Hand, or Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic itself. Either that, or there could be some form of back row removal that would get rid of it. Even link climbing into Access Code Talker and just popping the Prohibition might do it. Unless I've got a way to stop the Access Code Talker. Or even Nightmare Phoenix or Unicorn. Yeah, I know I'd be giving away strategies here, and as I'm saying this, opponents could find a way to counter this countering, but again, you have to remember this is a hypothetical scenario, and again, I have no intention of coming back to current format or current format tournaments. So it doesn't matter if I'm giving anything away, and even if I do, it's like, well, even if they do have counters to my countering, there's no guarantee that they'll draw it. Because let's face it, drawing the outs just doesn't always happen, and I know that too well. But yeah, if I came back to just the minor league, I'd still incorporate these countermeasures as well, because unfortunately there are OTK and lockdown decks that come up in that as well, even if they're not meta. But yeah, I'd still try and incorporate these countermeasures anyway, and I'd resume some goals that that I did have before I quit, and that was try and win it with decks that I haven't won it with. Now, I did manage it with Dark Magician and Elemental Heroes, but I never managed it with Rainbow Neos, Magician Girls, Cats and Melvies. So if I came back, I would try and do that again, and the same thing with the other decks that I have nowadays. Magician of Chaos, Stardust Junk, Alloy's Dimension Dragon, Cyberse, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, if I was to use my Cyberse deck, I can't use Access Code Talker because it's banned in that, and I think Transcode Talker might actually be banned in the minor league as well. I'm not sure. Unless something's changed over the last year. I doubt it. whereas of course with Rainbow Neos I wouldn't be able to use Super Poly, and with Melfies and Cats I can't use Zeus, so that's banned in that. Yeah, yeah, those would be my intentions if I came back. But then again, it would be a bit difficult to come back to Dead Universe Comics and Tabletop Republic since I moved away. Unless I just make the time, and I will make the time to come back and visit one day, I'm sure, because I'm sure the guys do miss me, and I do miss them. I must admit. But yeah, one day I shall come back, even if I don't play in any tournaments. But yeah, that's basically what would happen if I came back to current format and tournaments. Yeah, at the time of recording, I did receive a suggestion, which was, what if Series 3 of Robot Wars had seeds? But I'm just not sure about doing that one, if I have to be honest, because it would be a bit tricky to work out. I mean, the top 3 would be easy to figure out, because Panic Attack would be 1, Cassius 2 would be 2, and Beast of Bodmin would be 3, but then it would be hard to figure out afterwards. Yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching.